So we are back from Hawaii.
What are those brown things on your teeth?
Part of it.
Cracked it?
Yeah, I cracked it in high school on a beer can.
Hey everyone, good to see you again. We just got back from a week-long trip in Hawaii. It was our first solo trip as a married couple. It was fantastic, and we want to tell you a little bit about it. I guess before we start telling you guys about the trip, I'm a really negative person. And you're gonna probably hear me go off on all kinds of stuff about every aspect of the trip. I can't help it. I just see the brokenness and the imperfection in everything. And I would call it a curse or a sickness. It's a disease. And I'm not to blame here. It's just a part of who I am.
That could be a whole nother video of what it's like to be married to this guy.
I'm telling you.
It goes the reverse as well. I have my own problems, not as bad as his, but...
We'll start out with the flights, okay? Well, the Alaska flight down to Hawaii happens to be direct, Anchorage to Honolulu, and you can't beat that. It's a 6-hour day. You're in the air for 6 hours and then you're there. But this time around, Alaska Airlines moved it from what is usually 2 or 3 in the afternoon to a 5 p.m. departure, which puts us into Hawaii basically at 11 o'clock at night. Everything's closed down. You basically get down there, go straight to bed. It's not ideal. And then the flight back leaves Honolulu at about 11 p.m. And that sucks because we, like most places, you have to check out of your unit at 11 a.m. and then you have all day to go around the island in your jeans, sweating your balls off. You can edit that for You're sweating, you're carrying your luggage around, and it just makes for a really long, horrible day. And then you go on your 6-hour flight back and you basically miss a night of sleep. You get home, you try to catch a couple hours. That whole day's ruined. It's a nightmare. So
it's kind of just Alaska problems.
It's Alaska problems. It's Alaska Airlines disappointing us yet again. Everything they do seems to be the opposite of what we want. What I think would be best is for Alaska Airlines to go, okay, look. To let you guys know about the travel requirements, we had to pay $95 each to go get a COVID test. We got our results back in less than 24 hours. We were both negative, and we knew that that was coming because they barely put the swab inside your nose. They almost like wave it in front of your nose. And then they send you on your way. Confirmation for that, and then at the airport you show them your test results and they give you a little bracelet that allows you to get off the plane in Hawaii and then go right past all the lines and straight to baggage claim, which was really nice. It was slick. We thought it was going to be a major cluster getting through the airport to approve our negative tests and all that, but it was a breeze, and we were glad for that at least. They didn't get it perfectly aligned, so the sticker part of it ended up grabbing these hairs right here and removing them from my body. And I didn't appreciate that. It was painful. I lost something that I had before. Those are valuable hairs, and they were unnecessarily robbed from me by this lady that just couldn't line up the tape part with the band.
Yeah, the whole testing thing was kind of lame, and just in that you have to spend an extra $95 a person on top of already a lot of money to get to Hawaii, but overall it wasn't too horrible. Our favorite Alaska Airlines flight attendant / friend, she was the flight attendant for our flight, which was super, super fun to see her. And about 3 hours into our flight, she brought us some cupcakes that she had made, and these cupcakes are incredible. Yeah, and so really good. It made it awesome. So yeah, it was a pretty chill flight down otherwise.
The unit we got was right in Waikiki at the Ilikai, and the hotel itself was closed, but we ended up getting a unit through Airbnb. The place was decent enough, I guess. I think we listed out 8 or 10 things wrong with the place. But
Yeah.
most of it was minor. It was like everywhere else in the hotel had blackout shades or curtains, and this place just had those vertical blinds that don't really keep a lot of light out. So
And 1 or 2 whole blinds were missing.
yeah, so everyone saw us naked in the place. The guys across the way with the telescope or the binoculars were definitely seeing everything.
Yeah.
The best part though, the reason we picked this Airbnb was the lanai. We basically slept in every day. We had the room nice and cold from the air conditioner. And the best thing was to go out on the lanai as soon as you woke up and just let that sun hit you as you're drinking some coffee. And 20 minutes later, you're sweating, and it was the best feeling ever. I think every time we go to Hawaii, we're gonna look for a place that gets that morning sun because it just feels so good to bathe in it first thing in the morning.
About a year ago, pre-COVID, like right before COVID really hit and shutdown started to begin, that we were in the same exact place at the Ilikai, and it was packed. I mean, typical Waikiki, crowded everywhere. It was night and day difference this time around.
Yeah, I feel like certain areas were dead, but others weren't. There were days on the beach when it did seem to be sort of crowded. Maybe not as crowded, but more crowded than you would expect. And I noticed that the mask situation was basically 20% of the people didn't mask on the streets or anything like that, and the 80% did. And it was kind of weird. And we even saw people walking completely by themselves in the middle of nowhere with no one around for as far as the eye could see, and they're masked up. So I didn't see anyone on the beach wearing a mask. And then, yeah, no one at the pool. And obviously everyone inside a building was masked up, including us.
One night we walked down kind of more to the end of Waikiki Beach down there by the volleyball nets, and it was packed. And one of the interesting things was we walked back kind of along the beach, and you'd see a hotel with 100 people in the pool, packed out like normal. The very next hotel, and we're talking big hotels that probably have a couple hundred rooms, completely shut down.
Fenced and everything.
Fenced in, yeah. And then the next hotel would be poppin'. That was really interesting to see how many hotels were shut down, how many restaurants were shut down, and even like on that main strip where all the like fancy shops like Gucci and Prada and stuff are, there was a lot of businesses that were shut down.
And there was a lot of inconsistency with how businesses enforced COVID safety rules. The hotel right next to us, basically the pool was a free-for-all. Anyone could get in it, no matter how many people, and then for our place, you had to reserve a time slot at the pool to just get into the pool area. And then let's say there's 10 people in that area, well, only 5 could be in the water in the pool at a time. And then walking into stores and stuff, some of them, they'd barely look at you. You come in, do your thing. Others were like, whoa, stop, please use the hand sanitizer. And they make you do that. And then other places had a maximum capacity, so there was a line out in front of the store. As one person left, another one could go in. And it was just all over the place, which to me was annoying. It was like, come on, I was just able to go in that one store freely, and now I gotta stand in the line over here or use the hand sanitizer. And anyway, it was just all over the place. Yeah, the gym was crazy. We actually thought about getting a week-long membership at Planet Fitness down there, because if you've been watching for a while, we've been trying to do some weightlifting and have that be a regular part of our life. And so we thought, okay, let's go down there and do some weightlifting, and that'll offset a lot of the food we're gonna eat. But we decided not to, just because we're too lazy. But one day we walked by the gym, and there's this super long line. Yeah, it looked like the line took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to
just get in.
We
were very thankful we didn't pay the $70-$80 that we were going to pay for the week-long membership, because that was very surprising to see that there was that long of a wait. One of our favorite things is that we did not rent a car, and we love how walkable Waikiki is. they have those bikes. So if you want to go a little further, like one day we wanted to hike Diamond Head, and it's about I think it's like a 2.5 mile distance from where we were. And so we walked a little bit, hopped on those bikes, and then walked a little more, and we were able to go do the Diamond Head hike, which was really fun.
On the way, we saw these body weight exercise machines that were super rad. You basically sit on it, and then whatever movement you do ends up lifting your body up. And so we did a little bit of that on the way.
Yeah, that was fun.
And that was a super hot day. We were getting our sweat on, getting up to Diamond Head.
Yeah, and the sign says it's about an hour and a half to 2 hour to hike, and I think we were up and down in 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm sure there's more challenging hikes. This one was kind of cush because it was paved part of the way, and then there was stairs. The coolest part was going through this little cave tunnel thing that they had.
And the view at the top was great. You could see the whole Waikiki area and way out into the ocean. It was really cool view. Overall, one of the best parts of the trip for me was being able to get out and be active all day, because we just don't get to do that very easily here in Alaska. It got us on that conversation again about moving them out of Alaska. Comment down below where you think we should move to.
One of our favorite parts of the trip was rent a motorcycle, and it was awesome.
It was a Harley, which means it was an overpriced hunk of junk, okay? I'm all for American made, American worker, American spirit, American innovation. But Harley dropped the ball and made themselves a bike that actually wanted to be on the ground more than it wanted to be stood up and on the road. But it was awesome to ride around the island. We did get rained on super heavily for the first, I don't know, maybe hour. But the majority of the ride, which took us maybe 6 hours, was glorious. There was a good part of it that was along the coastline. Riding along the coast at 40 miles an hour, which is an awesome speed on a motorcycle, with the sun hitting us and the breeze from the ocean, it was magical. Like, it was very, very cool. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that even if you ride up here in Alaska, it's freezing cold. Even in the summer, you're having to wear a coat and gloves and all that. And so to feel the warmth and the wind from the ocean like that, it was incredible. I
guess to wrap up all the favorite parts was the food. We're big foodies, and we just had a heyday with all the restaurants that we had wanted to eat at. And so our favorite, hands down, Nude's Ramen Bar. We went there twice. If you want breakfast, eggs and things, was just a really great, relatively priced spot, and they had awesome pancakes.
Yeah, I think we try to get pancakes every time we ate breakfast. One spot I got a breakfast burrito. Little recommendation. It's really not the best if you put stew into a tortilla. You want to end up on the drier side for your ingredients that go into your burrito. Stew is just not going to work out as far as the ease of eating it and the mess that you make. Just not a good idea.
You discovered your favorite mixed drink.
Oh yeah. Somebody gave me a Mai Tai, and once I had that, it was the only thing I got for the rest of the trip. We went to this restaurant for her birthday
Momo-san.
We tried their ramen, which was okay. We had a couple of those baos, is that what they're called? Those were pretty decent, but then we got the sticky ribs, man. They cooked them perfectly, right? Low and slow, but then they deep fried them to finish them off, and that was maybe one of the best things we ate while we were in there. Crystal got a tattoo.
Oh yeah.
To commemorate the trip. So disgusting. So to finish off the trip, we should have booked an extra day at our hotel so that we could just stay there until 8:30 at night and then go to the airport. But we had to check out, so we ended up finding a place for the day for $90 or something. Fully worth it, because then we could go put our suitcases in there, we could keep walking around, we could come back and get showered up and cooled down before we got our jeans on and then went to the airport. But it was pretty tough getting into this place, because we went up to the checkout desk and the gal that was helping us out was extremely friendly, and so much so that we heard a lot about her life, and I think it was about 2 stories for every 1 minute of progress she made on getting us checked in. The whole thing It lasted about 40 minutes, I think, to just get checked into the hotel. And that was rough. We were not wanting to do that. We were hungry and had been toting our suitcases all over trying to get into this place. But a little recommendation for those of you helping people get checked into a hotel: save the stories for later and just get the person checked in as fast as humanly possible. If you're not sure how to use your system, you may want to learn before you actually serve real customers, and things will go well for you. We also talked about the fact that if we did move out of Alaska and down to somewhere in the States that has a lot of sun, maybe it's a really hot location and the place we buy has a pool, would we even end up going to Hawaii? I mean, if you got all the warmth that you could want, maybe your vacations turn into ski trips or just other places to explore. Go to DC or anywhere on the East Coast to experience the culture over there, or Mount Rushmore. I've always wanted to see Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go eat a steak in Texas. Florida beaches. I've been a couple times. The sand is like silk, unlike Hawaii, where it's jagged, sharp shells for the most part that will cut your feet if you're not careful. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.